All right, welcome back to another episode of College Football on a Bridge. We're going to tackle Miami. Um, Had a really good year last year with a little hiccup in the middle with Louisville lost, SMU lost, but they turned things around. They had a great run in the playoff. They're returning back a ton of talent on offense. Offensive line's never going to really be a problem with Cristobal. Their defense is just ridiculous again. OJ Frederic, Maud Moten, Mondo Blunt. I mean, it's just an abundance of riches there, and it's just kind of the same old from last few years. What are we gonna get out of Mensa? He's a good solid quarterback coming from Duke via Tulane. Um, I don't necessarily think he's this necessarily a word beater, this fantastic can't miss guy. I think he's a good solid. I'm not dissing him anyway that way, but I don't know if he's um, necessarily worth all of the hype. But I mean, he'd come in and he's gonna do fine for them. Just whether or not if he's gonna elevate the team up to you know blowing everybody out, winning the making it to an ACC um, championship game, which would be something new for Miami, and making it through making it through a run in the playoff. They return Mark Fletcher, he's a phenomenal back. They bring back Tony, crazy good last year as a freshman. They bring in I can't remember if I can say his name right. Cooper Bacardi. I probably butchered that one. But Bacati from Duke, who was good receiver for Mensa last year, so they bring in some familiarity. Um, they got the guys there. It's just everything clicking with new quarterback. I think they're gonna be a solid upper tier team. It's just a matter of see what Mensa can do as far as elevating from there. Uh, you know, Defense should be great. Heatherman looked would seem like a home run higher last year. The way the defense turned around, just kind of they played with a lot more tenacity than they had been. They lose guys like Bain, like Messador, but they're returning guys who are probably right on par. It's not losing. They're losing, but they're not losing a whole lot. Um, Season wise, they start at Stanford. Um, Outside of the going to play at Stanford, that you should, if you're who you think you are, go out there and smoke them. So they got Florida A&M after that, at Wake Forest, which is we've got to get into Wake Forest soon. I think we got to discuss them. They're a good team. Um, Central Michigan at Clemson. They got at Notre Dame November 7th is one of the game of the years. And then right after that, home against Duke, where you have this dynamic with Mensa, and then Virginia Tech, Boston College to close out. It's a probably a little bit maybe harder schedule than last year or right around it. Just a matter of can everything click the way it should for them. I think they'll be fine. See, last year ended up going well with all the extra games, 13-3. Um, Lost the two games. It Miami has a tendency to kind of implode when they shouldn't. When they're going and lose to a team they shouldn't lose to, and everything falls apart. Last year they lost, they got smacked in the middle of the season, and was able to turn things around, straighten out, bring the nose up, and which is kind of a sign of things maybe mentality changing there. Coaches learning from previous years. Again, Cristobal's a heck of a good coach, good recruiter. Just a matter of can the quarterback situation with Mensa can is he all he's cracked up to be? Is he gonna elevate them to that level? I mean, he's got all the pieces, so really no excuses other than you never know what's gonna happen injury wise, which you hope not, but you never know. And him taking it up a notch from what we saw him at Duke and Tulane, and see what they go from there.